Tesla full self-driving version 12.3.4. Still no update, but we're here. We're waiting for it. We are going to activate our garage door and head to the nursery, and that is Oakland Nursery for those of you in Central Ohio. Big fan. Picked up some stuff yesterday, picking up more stuff today because, much like going to Lowe's or Home Depot, it is pretty much impossible to get everything you want at the nursery in your first go. So leaving the garage, we've engaged Ego, and oh no, first mistake. The map says to turn right, and Ego has us go left. I'm going to let the team know. Map has us going right. Map has us going left. Ego tries to turn right. Constant disengagement here coming out of my garage. Thank you. I'm not sure what the issue is there. The map is very clear that we're heading left to the north out of the neighborhood, and the car just wants to go right. It literally the wheel just starts turning right. So it's very strange. But we sent it to the team, and we're going to see what they say. Today's drive, 14 miles. Will not be a disengagement-free drive. Not that I really care about that, but people want to talk about removing steering wheels from cars. Like, how about getting it to go the right way out of our driveway first, right? That's I'd say we solve for that before we worry about robo taxis. I don't even word robo taxi just is annoying. Not so far from being real, guys. Just not a thing. So here we have a left coming out of the neighborhood onto Seldom Seen Road. Very simple and frequent turn that we make, and we don't anticipate any problems, or we don't have any problems. Boom. Be on this road for a mile before making a right-hand turn. Pretty simple stuff. Again, these are the kinds of things that I really enjoy full self-driving supervised, where I can have my coffee and relax as the car does all of the work. The advanced life-saving safety features are active. If you saw some of my other videos, I think my last one, I mentioned how if we thought of it as, instead of full self-driving supervised, but instead thought of it as advanced life-saving safety features, we would pretty much always want it running. And you'd be crazy not to pay $99 a month for it. Crazy, seriously. I mean, if you have first of all, don't get a Tesla if you can't afford one, right? We don't want to be stretch any of us out of our means. But Model 3, Model Y, they're pretty affordable cars, especially where I live. People drive much pricier cars that do not have the advanced life-saving safety features of every Tesla. So I constantly engage the software because it's like telling the car, hey, use all of these cameras and get me to my destination safely. And I'm also going to be using my brain, my eyes, my arms, and my hands. It's like having, a backup driver, but they're better than you. I don't know why anyone would not want this software to be running. It's really, once you experience it, once you see these kinds of drives, like, hey, here's just a normal guy going to a normal, running to the nursery to get some plants and coming back, and the car's doing all of the driving, the car's creeping right here. It's never going to pull out when a car is coming around this blind turn from the south, right? Never going to pull out inappropriately. Made the turn for me, got us onto Riverside. And I will note, Tesla team, if you're listening, you've improved the software in the last couple of builds noticeably on that exact turn where you turn onto Riverside and instantly get up to speed. I didn't see on here, but forever, whoever's watching, you can probably check. Um, you turned and the car probably got up to 40 very quickly. And that's what we, in earlier builds, we would turn onto Riverside and not be going 40 quick enough, and then cars that were approaching would catch up to us and it would tick them off. So, well, it would tick them off if I let it. I would always have to take over. Looks like we have, this is the same route. Okay, so similar route to how we drive to pickleball. We're going to turn on the same highway, actually 42. It's not really a highway, but it's called Highway 42. And this is a scenic, peaceful, simple drive. The robot is doing all of it. We've got a roundabout coming up in a mile. Well, that's actually the first video where I can talk about a little bit of a sponsorship I'm doing. I'll leave a link in the comments. Is that what they say? Or in the description, I guess. For 20% off some accessories. Use my screen name, Don Nicolo, and pick something out nice for yourself. They're sending me a couple to review. I'll give the honest opinion. Haven't actually gotten any from this site myself yet, so not gonna mislead or pump anything up that I can't speak firsthand knowledge. But I can tell you that there are some accessories that you can add to your Model Y, your Model 3, all Teslas. I can speak pretty good about the Model Y. That I think make it even a nicer experience. And through the roundabout, no problems. Up to speed, no problem. Pretty awesome. Now we are just on Riverside Drive heading north, and there is a area here where Ego thinks, or the map, I should say, the navigation mapping thinks that it's 5 miles an hour for some reason. It's almost like a typo because it's 55, but it's almost like somebody was entering something on a spreadsheet or whatever the state uses to control their, or I don't even know if it's the state, whatever database reads these things. There's right here. It just went down to 5. Okay. So now Ego has not slowed down. It's starting to slow down. Starting to slow down. Yeah, this is not cool. I'm going to disengage and let the team know. Recurring problem with map data believing that it's 5 miles an hour. It is a 55 mile an hour road here. It does not change to 5 miles an hour. Please note. Now I need to be a little better in how I send those notes to the team. That one in particular. I don't know if I hit enough of the keywords there. The notes get transcribed by AI and then probably filtered by keywords. So I should have been thinking a little bit more along those lines. Maybe I should have said something like urgent incorrect map data and just repeated that a few times. We'll try that next time we drive this route plenty. Well, I forgot to turn the temperature down, wondering why I'm cooking. All Teslas we can preheat from our phone or our watch, whatever, or pre-cool, depending on the climate in your area. Today it's 63, but it's a chilly 63, and so I had cranked the heat up in this guy. And forgot to crank it down when I got in here. There will definitely be a link to this in the description. It's the Wake Up playlist, available wherever you find your favorite tunes: YouTube, Spotify, Actually, just those two places. And this is my playlist, 280 unique eclectic songs sharing a common motif. That is that I put them on this playlist. This one, many of you will know, iconic hit by Steve Winwood. Let him take us home for a couple of bars. Come on, Steve. All right, we got to our turn. Mr. Winwood brought us home. We are turning right onto 42. Still about 8 miles from Oakland Nursery, Delaware. Went to the other Oakland Nursery. Well, there's a bunch of them. It's great business. Went to the Dublin location yesterday and cleaned them out. Picked up some hostas and some Korean dwarf lilacs, serviceberry tree, a couple of hydrangea trees, some tall grasses. But I didn't get enough. Shorted it still. I don't think I've ever had a day of planting where I didn't short something and have to go back to the nursery. I don't mind it. I like it. I like planting. It gives me a chance to make these videos. Looks like this is going to take us within a couple of miles of our destination at least. So it's just 5.5 miles straight east on 42. And this brings up another use case that I'm a fan of, which is the mundane, just straight 2-lane driving here, where I don't have to think about what the car just did. It just slowed down. I don't have to think about it. It's nice. I know other companies have their own versions of keep in lane or stay behind cars. That's great. If they work, great. How they work is what's different in Tesla's case most of the time, because Tesla is using vision to make them work. So it's using cameras that are the equivalent of our human eyes, and those cameras are processing the world and creating a world to then drive this car through. So creating this visualization, and that's what we're seeing on the screen. Since we've got 5 straight miles on this road, let's expand the visualization, see how it looks. Take a look at the camera, see what you're seeing. So everything you see on this screen, the white line, the 2 sets of double yellow lines now merging together, all the other vehicles, the vehicle in front of us, that is this computer system at trillions of operations per second, which is really just mind-bending. It's hard to say out loud. It's really hard to even understand. But operating like a human brain, very fast, creating a world and then driving a vehicle through the world. That's a very, very important distinction. Hey, Pickle Shack. The Pickle Shack, recognize some of those cars. Very important distinction from driving through a pre-mapped, like HD maps, GPS type system, where a car's using like a LiDAR sensor suite and bouncing signals around and then comparing those to a pre-mapped database or a pre-mapped solution and driving itself that way. It's not to say that it can't work. It's just that it's not as good. It's not a solution for everything. It's not a solution for the dynamic that world that we live in, where things change on the fly, and you can't be relying on pre-mapped things. My brain doesn't rely on pre-mapped things. When I'm driving normally, my brain will look and drive based on what I see in that real-time instance. I guess one other way to put it, now that I'm just kind of shooting from the hip, would be if you have the choice between a pre-mapped solution and a real-time solution, why would you not choose the real-time solution, right? That's like, it's like saying, like, if you were going to have a babysitter come watch your kids, then you could have them, you know, watch them on a, camera that has a 10-second delay, or watch them in real time. What would you choose? I don't know who would, not choose the real time. Like, it's pretty wild. We want real time, and that's what Tesla is doing with Vision. It's giving us this world and this drive in real time on every individual drive. It's pretty crazy. I still struggle with. I'm playing Slate Force. I still struggle with, kind of wrapping my mind around how mind-bogglingly, is that how you say it? Mind-boggling? I don't know. It's hard phrase. How complex of a task this is. But here it is. I use it every day. I take it for granted every day. It's going to have driven me 14 miles from my house, with probably the only intervention being me telling it to go a different way out of my driveway. And that was, to be fair, it was an intervention because it was going against the map. It could have made a right out of my driveway and still got us here. But that's not what the map was saying to do, and I don't think that would have been efficient. I think the most efficient way was the left, as the map had directed. Apply slight force. So we'll be on this road for another mile or so. 1.8 miles, actually. And the Wake Up playlist has moved on to the Bees. Keep on moving, make it move. Take a shot, take a shot, take a sip. We gon' keep on doing what we do, cause everything will be okay. This is how we do it, baby, this is what we say. It's a look through your armor, say, don't you worry. Don't you worry. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. So don't you worry. Maybe this is a good theme song for today's earnings release. Actually, don't know where we're going here, so I might as well look at the map. It's another nice thing about FSD, to be honest, about advanced life-saving safety features. I guess FSD rolls off the tongue a little better, but where I'm not super familiar with an area, like I've been to this Oakland before, I've been up here in Delaware before, but I don't know it like the back of my hand. I'm not super familiar. When FSD is engaged and I'm just a pilot and the monitor, like right now, I just let it do its thing. I mean, it's taking me to the right place. I don't have to think about directions. Do I turn here? Do I go straight here? It's getting really good. I mean, it chooses the right lane. It's pretty much spot on. Now, funny, I say that, and then I will note missed exits from a highway are a potential problem right now. Driving home from the airport a week ago, that was our only disengagement, and it was kind of not fair to the software because it wasn't really a missed. It wanted to take an exit that was not ideal. It would have still gotten us back on 270, back to our destination, but it would have been easier to just stay on 270. So it was weird, and it was a weird area, and I almost, you should almost get like a pass, like a walk on that. But other people are having the same issue where it's just reading, somehow it's missing exits, or it's reading the signs wrong, or choosing the lane wrong, or whatnot. So we'll see how it does here, because it's supposed to get off. It says choosing right fork to stay on route, put the right turn signal on. It's funny, look at this semi behind us. Like, hey guy, can you be any close? You want to just back off and just chill for a sec? Like, where are you going? Westfield Express Corps. All right. So we are making a sharp right onto William Street. This will take us home to the nursery. We are now only a mile and a half out. And let's see how it does approaching a red. So no turn on red. Let's see if she stops. You are not allowed to turn, Ego. I'm not going to touch anything. It's creeping and hopefully stopping. I mean, there's traffic coming, so if it doesn't stop, we're going to get smashed. Okay, still creeping, still creeping. Oh, I think it might try to go on red here, which is not really cool. I'm going to have to hit the brake. There's another car coming, but after this car... Yep, see, it was going to go. Now, the light just turned green, but I'm going to call that a disengagement, and I'm going to report it to the team. Very clear, no right turn on red, but Ego was creeping and then tried to make a right on red. Urgent, disconnect, no right on red, urgent, safety, disconnect. Okay, so weren't expecting that, but that's what we do. It's why we test. That's why we drive. That's why we stay safe. I don't know where we're at with text recognition, text reading. It might be at a 0. It might be relying on maps, which is literally the thing I just talked bad about. Again, my human brain is not preloaded with any maps or any speed limit data or no turn on red data. My brain relies on what I see, and I saw it said no turn on red, so I would have just sat there until it was green, or until a meteor was coming at me and I need to move my car, whatever. But it's a pretty bad one. So we'll note that, get the note to the team, and in another mile we will be at our destination. Let's see what we got on the wake up playlist. My girl Miley. That's some old school Miley here for anyone who knows. White Tesla. What's up, Tesla Model Y? Looking good. Wow, there's a $38 million construction project going on over here, that sign just said. Wow, there's something going on. Dynamic little left-hand turn here. Looks like Ego's got it handled. This might be some sort of a back road. Wow, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't recall ever going this route. And if you look at the map, it looks like we're going past it and then double back. Maybe it didn't want us to make this left for some reason, or if there's orange cones over there. Maybe there's construction. That's interesting. in any case, we'll be at our destination in 2 minutes. We'll see if we get an auto park option. We've gotten 1 or 2 more in the driveway, in the garage, I should say. But it's definitely, only, less than 10% of the time, so it's not ideal. I'm really looking forward to the day that I can just pull into the driveway and hit a button and let the car do the rest. But for now, she's doing great, going slow. I have it on the auto setting, which is new in the latest couple builds of FSD, where instead of using scroll wheel or anything we set, it's set automatically based on all of the factors: the traffic flow, the speed limit. I forget what else it said, but I didn't like it at first, and now I'm a convert. I'm a believer. It seems to be pretty good. Yeah, I like this route. It took us right up to the back of this place and lets us make a bunch of rights to get in instead of having to make some lefts. So that's it. Got us to Oakland. Let's see if it'll turn us inside safely. Sure did. Now this is a dynamic situation. This parking lot is kind of kind of a disaster, but there's a spot right in front, and instead of doing the auto park test and being greedy, I am going to just take this parking spot, because if I do get anything, I'm going to want to just wheel it right up to my car, and backing in would not be ideal. So that's going to wrap this up. Great Brecken's Brown Magnolia right there in that pot. We have one of those. Ultimately, a decent drive, but the disconnect at the no turn was disappointing. And getting out of my driveway, just going the wrong way, of course, also disappointing. So we got those sent to the team, and we'll get this stuff uploaded and make another video soon. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your feedback. Peace.